Yes. Hello everyone, good morning. So, friends, today so much to very good. Okay, quick recap revision from the beginning. So we have done the introduction of digital distribution, then programming basics, structures and internal tables, modularization techniques, over. Then miscellaneous topics like messages, workbench, transport. Okay, we are the no okay, message is also completed. Like we are into the screen concept. First introduced list screen, that is right formats. So simple, easy. You can explore it very easy. Okay, already shared how to explore and all. Coming to the like second one. Now I explained yesterday the different types of screens in SAP overall. Because screens can be developed in two ways. That is design through drag and drop in design, that is dialogue screens. Selection screen and list screens are generated code through syntax. That is some keywords through page generation. So slowly you'll get clarity on the screens, which are very, very, very important topic. These three topics, these three screens, and that too when we learn dialogue screens completely, you will come to know total end-to-end focus clarity of the entire SAP. Because it is a total front end. SAP is a collection of total screens. If you show me any screen, either it should be a dialog screen or selection screen, or it could be a list screen. Any one of these only, it should be, it must be. Right. Then, so screen numbers and all, we will discuss going forward. Then coming to the back, three keywords are required. First, I introduce parameters. Second, selection screen I will introduce later. Finally, I'll go to the select icon options. Okay. So even this theory, whatever I discussed yesterday, explained, but slowly you will understand once we go further. Please. So yesterday's parameters keyword, because somebody is writing only parameter also. You come across both keywords. Parameter is there, parameters also there. But what is recommended is what is recommended. It is 1 second. Others is hmm, so we will go for not possible. So we will go first to remote system. So let's keep the food, GUVQ underscore underscore selections. This was the top program. Let's take this is your parameters, right? Which is accepted. Now we have one more keyword is only the P underscore input. Okay, is still use parameters. This type of message you will do. So this will go with float and singing. So once we convert it into float now completely. So by mistake, if you look at anywhere singular also. So coming back to so what exactly the impact of this parameters? Parameters is keyword generates a selection screen. That too, this selection screen number you can go to system in status. It is always 1,000. That is system generated number. That is built-in number. Screen number is always 1,000. Okay, right. Now, so I'm revising yesterday's stuff again. So, so this is general introduction. Data through if you declare and write statement, it is going to write fixed values. But how do you make it as flexible is user acceptance. So if you want to accept user in C language, what we will do, we'll go for printf and scanf. So scanf through first we will say that you enter some value for n1. That is scanf is used to percentile d and ampersand n1. That is like a format specifier and all we will use it. That is we are accepting input from the user. Accepting input from the user by using scanf is used reading from keyboard or reading value. It is called a scanf function. Right? Scanf then print. So this word. So similarly, if you want to make a program as a more generic, more flexible user choice point of you want to work, that is possible by using parameters keyword only. Right. Then after we have this is parameters keyword and six fields I introduced. Parameters keyword already I discussed in the data types concept because for each data type how it will work. Yes, you remember, right? The input field functionality, which field it accepts, which field it reject, all those stuff, all the int float back and C and DT also. Okay, all the variables we discussed. Then after that, we have a write statement also. Write is used to print the output. Okay, yes. Now, first parameter field name can be up to 8 characters long. 8 characters long. It should not exceed more than 8. Because what is that? That is the uh, reason. Okay, you can including this underscore also. It should be up to 8. Yesterday I entered country TRY or code CODE. Immediately we got error. Okay. So that's why I renamed it up to, because as a standard naming convention nomenclature, variable begins with V underscore or GV underscore or LV underscore, global variable or local variable. Whereas parameter always parameter field, we are calling it as parameter variable. Keyword fields, these 6 variables you are typing means 6 variables will be created in the memory. Okay, with the different data types. Yes. Now this name, if you keep it as it is, user gets confused, because here you have to understand left side is called as labels, right side is called as input field. So in as the name suggests, it is input field. Input field in the sense it is ready to accept from the input. Input field is user can enter the value, specify the value, or type the value. Okay, user can enter the value. But which value to be entered? User will look at the left side label. Based on the left side label, user enter the value, because there is a underline is given here. Label underline, then input field is connected. Label underline, that is user. There is no question of confusion to the user, because this is so user friendly screen. Any user with minimum knowledge, they can enter the values over here. Correct, isn't it? So enter number. So this alternative long text for parameter field, I provided alternative long text, because if you write CUNTR, that is confused. So even why this P underscore, these are all so many questions by the user. That's why we will go to text elements. You click on text elements. In the text middle, selection text is there. Here, once you create selection screen with parameter field or select reference field, what happens? The selection text tab gets enabled. There automatically you will get all this P underscore or SO underscore etc. Okay. So you have to, in this, there is a question. What that question mark is, I removed it. I entered my own user friendly long. You want to do something, select all, delete all, or deselect all. You can go to particular field, you can remove also. Okay, you cannot add here. Add button is not there, because add is always add. It can be done through code only. Code through you add it, it appears here automatically. Okay, it will appear automatically. So suppose if I go to, yes, this is here. I typed something parameters. Okay, simply this one. Parameters p underscore n1, suppose p underscore n1. If I enable it, immediately you will get p underscore n1 here at the beginning, because this fields you code through generated. That is the sequence you followed in the program. In the same sequence only it will appear automatically. So by default, whatever the name you mention here, with the same name appears as a field label. Left side field label, right side input. Right? So now you have to go to this. How do you replace this p underscore n1? So this P underscore N1, you can replace it by using text elements. Text elements through, you can replace it. Otherwise, it appears this way. So if you P underscore N1, user refers left side label, right side value user will print. But user gets confused. That's why we require user friendly label. You have to type it. That is the purpose of selection text. Selection text. There is no restrictions in the selection text. You can type normal, alphanumeric, okay, symbols also. Because see, here user enter number, name, address, pin code, country. Reason is labels are clearly mentioned, right? If you go back again, comment it. So what will happen? That, that it gets removed from the selection screen. So that's about selection text, yesterday's topic. Coming to that, so three things are covered. Parameter field begins with P underscore as per standard. Second, it can be a period characters long and the selection text also integers. Parameter field can be declared by type addition or like addition. Both are support. So here I am using predefined type, or else local type or global type also you can use it. Okay. So you can find this is started with normally predefined, predefined data. So if it is a global type, certain things will differ. That also we'll discuss. Right. Going back to yes. This length, whatever the bracket length or length keyword through whatever the length you specify, that is the length applicable to this input field. Input field length also can control it from the we can control it from the next. So the further additions. Parameter keyword supports some additional. What are the additional keyword? First keyword is default. So default keyword is used to provide the default value, default space, default value, whatever the default value you want to. This is the default will appears in the selection scheme as it is. You want to obligate remains, making the filter required to user must change. Lowercase to retain and lowercase. No display to no hyphen display. Okay, that field is not appear in the selection because sometimes we don't want to display. That is your no display. Okay, next visible. So same way, if you want to extend it to some e underscore date, sorry, e underscore date type can use side datum also. Side datum also. So if you go to here, execute. So here you are getting p underscore date. Right? So this also you have to replace. Go to text elements. Text element. You have to go to the selection text screen. Text tab. Here, first time you are getting DDIC. DDIC option is enabled. So there are two ways. One way is manually you can replace that question mark equals dot replace by enter date. Okay, otherwise you can simply okay, because it is side item is a SOST structure that is there in the dictionary. That's why dictionary reference is enabled. If you activate it, checkbox activate and press enter. So current date. because side item is nothing but current application server date. That's what. So go to, it is going to display the current date. So activity. Do remember, you in order to effect this, you have to activate this report text. Visit that. So it is asking for a question from you. Do you want to delete the unwanted selection text from the text pool? This text symbol selection text list heading everything is a part of text pool. So because unwanted in the sense there is a one field, that field we are not going to display because of the no display addition, that is not required. So you want to delete that. You want to delete that, you can delete it. Otherwise, you want to retain it, say no. You want to delete, you can say yes. So it is deleted, which activated and deleted also. Now, if you look at here, the current state. So the advantage of side datum. If you go back, side datum is SOST date. SOST is a global structure. Datum. This is uses SOST underscore datum as a data element, which is DATS 8. This is the field label date, current date, current date. So current date is medium field label, you got it over there. Even if you want a documentation, if any kind of documentation is maintained at the data element level, you will get documentation. Then because of the DATS data type provides F4 help automatically as a calendar controller, correct? We are all clear with SC11. So only if you write type D, you don't get F4. When you write side datum, you got this F4 also. F4 current user calendar control, timer control. Because DATS generates calendar control. TIMS generates timer control. I already told you, right? So you can select a field. This way you can select the value from the F4. Isn't it? So this is your overall, hmm, overall meters keyword uh, uh, introduction with some additions. Now we will keep it as it is. We'll move ahead with few other discussion today. It is nothing but yes, parameters keyword through we can generate, yes, so generating checkbox, generating checkbox, okay, with the parameters keyword using parameters keyword. So parameters keyword through we can generate. So example, go to parameters is p underscore vendor. So now check, so p vendor checkbox with p vendor. Checkbox came left and p vendor. So if you want to go to parameters p underscore customer, okay, customer has checkbox. Customer has checkbox. So vendor has checkbox and actually customer has checkbox. Customer can be up to 8 characters long. So now you have to go to p underscore is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Move it still you will get 8 characters long. Yes. Now it's accept. But you look at this looks vendor custom. So that is doesn't looking nice. So you have to go to alternative long text. You can go to text elements, selection text. So you did not get this DDIC reference. Dictionary text only possible when you go for reference only. So now you have to question mark dot that you have to replace, type customer, the question mark dot replace by vendor. So customer and vendor. Okay. Then activate it. Yes. Activate the checkbox. Go back. Yes. Activate the program and execute it. So vendor checkbox, customer checkbox. So both checkboxes are available here. Right? So if you want, because there is an independent, as usual, our old style, you can use its colon comma. Checkbox is a single keyword. Hmm. Select check. No. So here, what we can do, parameters, default X, default single quote capital X. So that what will happen when you execute the checkbox gets tick mark. That is activated checkbox we are calling it as. Okay, that is called as default X, single quote capital X. Then go to here if you want to write, because the checkbox you can create, we will write the notes for this. That you okay. So, parameters, that's followed by e underscore field name with checkbox. Okay, this syntax is used to generate checkbox in selection screen. No. Hmm. So here, okay, first and foremost is even we can generate single checkbox. That is checkbox, single checkbox is on. Two checkboxes are not required. So checkbox, if you want to use default X, default X is used to activate checkbox while loading selection selection screen. Okay. So if you write the this default space, okay, space is used, it is used to deactivate checkbox. That is nothing but yes, while loading selection. So if you look at, so this is your default space or default this way. So execute to this one. Even you can go here, can do vice versa also. So but X should be capital. Capital X is important. So execute capital X. Okay. Single quotes capital X. Right. If you want both capital X, yes, you can keep it both. Yes. So that is why loading the selection screen itself, you can activate both. But again, user can check or uncheck at runtime. Okay, this is only true. Yes, yeah, actually there is a one more alternative is there. It's a default space. You can write space also. SPSE space is also used to, okay, it is like to display checkbox, to display checkbox as not activated. That is not activated. Okay, display space also you can print it. So come here. This is also will print the space. Okay, is not activated, even though you can achieve it by using space. Yes, space is a keyword in ABAP. That's the reason you cannot, yes, space. Okay, yes, this approach also okay. Space is predefined. Now, user can user can check or uncheck. So any checkbox at one. Okay, that is positive. Right. Then next, you go to uh, how do you handle this in the program? So if p underscore vendor equals to x, okay, and p underscore system equals to space, then you can print right statement as vendor checkbox is selected. Check are selected or activated. Okay, else if p underscore vendor equals to space and p underscore p underscore custom equals to x. Okay, then write statement. Okay, the customer checkbox is selected. Next, else if p underscore vendor equals to capital X and p underscore custom equals to capital X. Suppose write statement both customer, both the vendor and the customer both are activated, both are selected. Last else option, else. Okay, because if you find all these things, okay, better you write p underscore vendor equals to space. Even you can print this way also. And this p underscore custom equals to space, write statement, new line. So you have to write either vendor customer is selected. It is either or. This is the code. So you have to observe me. Even you want to debug also, debug, you can debug it. So place the cursor here, breakpoint, execute. So we'll keep some value here, otherwise it does not allow. So when the checkbox is executed, now this is the code. Vendor, P vendor equals to single quote capital X. So do remember X should be caps, you have to use uppercase, and you have to use X keyword or X letter only. Cannot use other than a space, only single quotes with some space you can give. Otherwise, space keyword you can give without quotes. Space also it is allowed. So if you go to this both, when first condition is true, see, because when we write logical and, system consider left and right. Both conditions must be true. Then only result will be true. This because it is and. Okay. So if, else if, and you know this, right? Because checkboxes, why we have to give, we will get four combinations. Because we can activate both, then this will become true. Even you don't activate both also accepted, this will finally will get it. Either one, if you activate vendor, you will get this and your customer is blank. Or you activate customer and vendor is blank, that is empty. Then so four combinations you are getting output. So it is out directly and if you only focus on this line you look at. So you will get four types of, go back, remove the breakpoint because we don't want breakpoint for all the, because you have to see the checkbox behavior. Checkbox purpose is you can provide checkbox functionality or checkbox is you can provide two, three options to the checkbox user. User can select, okay, user can select anyone, or user can select any two, or user can select none also. Okay, that you have to observe it. So go back. Let us check opposite case customer and vendor uncheck. You are getting customer checkbox is select. So both select, getting both selected. Next, I don't select both, execute. So either vendor or either or. Vendor or customer select. Okay, got it. So this is your checkbox concepts. So parameters through we can generate a checkbox. Okay, even single checkbox are also possible. Yes, that's about your overall. Yes. So parameters are checkboxes. Checkboxes. Final conclusion. Checkboxes are recommended in which case where we want to provide multiple options to user. So you next user can select all or user can select none or user can select anyone. Yes, random. So these are all the user choice. Anyone or any two also. This is the purpose of yes. Just like go, go back to the this one radio buttons. Next, like So we are, I don't keep commenting. Let it be as it is. We will go to generating generating radio buttons using parameters given a parameter statement. Okay. It is the purpose of this. So now, yes, let's go to this. Because what is the radio buttons concepts? Is parameters. Parameters. You can go to C underscore true. Okay, radio button group RG1. Yes. Next parameters. So this is having limitation. I will tell you the limitation. Parameters and capacities. Parameters is C underscore false radio button group RG1. Okay. So now, yes, this is your under one group, two radio buttons. It is true or false. Okay. So you have to go to, sorry, this is, we have to type a P underscore because see, generally sometimes we will use parameter field. The checkbox can be defined using CD underscore also. CB underscore also. Okay, CB underscore one checkbox. Next, so here parameters, parameters as field name P underscore, so field one. Okay, radio button group, radio button group. Mhm. There is a rule here. These rules you must follow. Either you type parameters again, otherwise you take it. This is the parameters P underscore field 2. That is your radio button group RG1. So if you look at what exactly the radio buttons could, just explanation. Radio buttons also called as op, okay, option buttons. Radio buttons or option button both are same. Next, so radio buttons are always created under group, under radio button group. Radio buttons are always created in the group. So under one radio button, under one radio button group, under one radio button group, yes, we can have minimum one, minimum two or more radio buttons. We can keep minimum two. Two more than two also possible. Yes. So here, just like checkbox is a single keyword, similarly radio button is a single keyword. This group followed by group name. Now, so you can radio button name, okay, just like checkbox field name can be defined using CB underscore. Similarly, radio button field name, radio button field name can be defined with using underscore. E underscore because parameters point to, but other way it is RB underscore or R underscore you can write it. Radio button. It is also accepted. So radio buttons, in which case radio buttons are yes. Radio buttons are recommended where we want to give multiple options to user, but what is that? But user must select or must choose any one of the any one of the option or radio button. Yes, any one of the radio button user must choose. Hmm. Okay, because it is not possible user okay not interested to choose anyone. Okay, that is wrong concept. If that is the case, convert it into checkbox so that even user doesn't check also it's okay. So clear. So this is important thing you have to observe it. Yes. So radio button is group name. Radio buttons are always created under a group. So examples. Suppose some examples I am just giving. True or false can be used under any one of the radio buttons. Correct? Because why? The reason is true, false. Otherwise, we can go to pass or fail. Either you have to select true or false. I don't want to select anyone. No, that is not. So pass or fail. That is another example for radio buttons. Next, suppose there is a one question called as yes or no. So yes or no. This can be okay. Either you can choose yes or you can choose no. Anyone. That is your radio button selection. Right. Then next, uh, like we have to go to this. These are all the options we can choose. Either credit or debit. This is another example. So only two options. User must choose any one of the option. These are all the cases where we can use radio buttons. So right, we will go to program. So parameters keyword p underscore this all these things you remember it should be up to 8 characters length only because that is parameter field. So radio button is a keyword, space group is a keyword followed by radio button group name. So right here, suppose I create single radio button under this group. So you are getting error. The radio button group contains only one parameter. So what is the rule here is, yes, under one group, yes, in the radio button group, in the radio button group, we have to have minimum two radio, minimum, minimum two radio buttons. Okay, one is not this one radio button is not used in practical use. Next. Oh, so here now it's accepted. Both falls under one group. Correct. Suppose if I go to again second one in second group, RG2. This is again the same error. RG2 contains only one parameter. It is checking bottom up approach. So both are wrong. Either you convert this also into 2, then it will accept. Otherwise, this also both you have to convert into yes. Okay. This is your overall concept. So you can go to colon, comma, chain statement. Okay. Comma, yes, RG1. Okay. Under radio button group. So fine, execute it. Yes, this is your true and false. So radio button followed by true false. Like this is as it is name appears. So if you want to go to alternative long text for that, always go to text elements. Go to selection text. Here P underscore false, P underscore true. So remove this question mark dot dot dot, type it true. Okay, see here you can type caps small combination, whatever the way you type it, it appears in the selection screen as it is. So this is your false. Okay, yes. Then activate it. Okay, go back and activate. Now you test it. True or false. Okay, true or false both are into one group, right? So now if you want to select, suppose default X, single quote capital, that is which one you want to select by default. But if you go to default X for both is wrong again, because yes, it is giving yes error. Yes, when we under radio button group, default X is allowed only for one button. Yes. So this is syntactically correct. So now what is the issue here? Use only one parameter in the radio button group have XR space. So now you can go to default X. Yes, no problem. So activate only one parameter radio button group will have as default. Okay. So that means this is additional explore. So you can remove totally this default keyword is allowed only for one field. See, no false is selected. Okay, false is selected. User can change. Yes, at random. This also we will note it down. So default X, default space single quote cap. Default X can be used. Default X can be used for any one of the radio default X can be used for any one of the radio button. So what happens as a result? Whenever selection screen is loaded, is is what happens? That radio button is selected by default because of the X. So even default X is default default addition is allowed only for one button, one radio button in the group. This is okay. Next default. Okay, so default X only we have to use it. It is only default. Default is allowed for only one. You no need to write default space because you cannot write default space there. The reason is, suppose if I write default space, suppose, okay, what will happen? Yes, this is X only you have to write it. Otherwise, remove default. So if you write X, then it will, oh, yes, it should be. Okay. So this is also important. If you give some gap, this is error. Okay. You have to consider either before gap or after gap. Yes. Single quote capital means as it is, you have to. Yes. As it is, you have to. Yes. Right. Then next, if you go with the small x by mistake, small x, what will happen? One parameter radius. See, this is also system is checking whether you enter capital X or small x. System is checking here. Okay. Okay. Then rather than X, we will write Z. Except, yes, see, this is again, even I will write E. So you have to observe X only allowed. X only, only single character. Single character only. Yes. See, these are all observations. Because why I kept false? I want to I want to keep false to be selected by default. Okay, that is the purpose of. So true or false, either one you can select it. Got it? So these many observations. Yes, you can keep default X for either above or below. Okay, so overall we can write it. Default X is allowed for only one radio button. It's not for. So this X only allowed, no other character. Okay, is allowed in place of X. Okay, right. Next, if we go to yes, X must be specified within single quote. Suppose because X is a character. Character is it is a kind of character literal. Character literals must be specified within quotes. Otherwise, X is unknown. It is not a data type or something something. Okay, so this is all about your uh, what is that radio buttons are option. In Microsoft radio buttons are called as option buttons. Right. If you go to how do you work in a programming point of view? So you have to aware how to declare what are the limitations. Second, how you are going to handle the code also. Yes. Okay. Yes. For that, yes. If you go to if p underscore true p underscore true equals to x. Okay. Yes. Now you can go to yes. So you can print a write statement. True video button is selected by user. Else, else p underscore false suppose. Because if you want to write else if you have to write because only else does not followed by condition. Else if followed by condition. Yes. So now write statement is so false video button is selected by user. So and okay, that's it. So go to here, execute. So true, okay, it is true, execute. So true radio button is selected. So go back, false, false radio button is selected by the user. But I don't want to select both. No, it is not possible. Right. This is one of the way to handle it. There is a other way because see copy and paste here. Now is true is selected. You no need to write this section itself. Yes, only because as we know that either true is selected or false is selected. There is no such option where you I don't want to select none. So this also still work. Okay, we have tested both. No, so if you go to true selection, yes, true selection. Go to execute. True radio button is selected. Go back. False. So false radio button is selected by the user. Done. So with that, what happens? We have both options. Then there is a if you want else you can write this. Otherwise, yes, you no need to write it because there is a one more way we can print this. That is copy, paste again. Yes, actually we have to see this is yes, is not initial. Yes, is not initial. This is also working. So is initial is not. E true. Yes, execute first. Let us test. Okay, so true is selected by default. True radio button selected by the go back false. Execute false is selected by the right. So true or false. It works in this way. True or false works in this way. Okay, clear. This is about your overall one example. We will we will move on to the second session.